maybe you wanted to add another field to indicate the last time the post was updated, things like that. That's what we call our custom fields. Now, the truth is, with Elementor, you can actually add those using the elements of Elementor. You don't have to actually use a plugin, but the advantage of actually using a plugin to create the custom fields is that it becomes so much easier for you to display those fields when you're building out your templates. Now, before I go any further, let me just confirm that you do need Elementor Pro in order to work with this, because we're going to be working with dynamic tags. So if you don't have Elementor Pro, this video is not for you. If you have Elementor Pro, please watch on. So we're going to be making use of the Advanced Custom Fields plugin by Elliot Condon, which you can download directly from the WordPress plugin directory, repository rather, or you can just go to advancedcustomfields.com and download the plugin for free. There is a paid version of the plugin, but we will be using the free version of the plugin for this video. So basically, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create custom fields. We're going to create two of them. One would be the minutes to read, and then the other would be a special featured image, not the default featured image that WordPress provides by default, but another type of featured image. So every post is going to have these two fields, and I'm going to show you how you can create a custom fields, how you can then display them in the individual post, or even how you can now display them on your post template. So I hope you find this video informative. Sit back, relax, and let's get started. Alrighty, so let's do this. I'm gonna head over to the back end, and I've already installed the custom fields plugin. You can see the tab right here. Now you've got field groups and you've got add new. The difference here is that if you're going to create more than one custom field, might be best to group them in a field group. But if you're dealing with just one custom field, you can click on add new and just get started. I'm going to click on field groups. I'm going to click on add new. And let's just call this the post custom fields, all right? It could be any name. All right, I'm going to go ahead now and click on, oh, by the way, before we begin adding the two custom fields, right here, make sure that this is correct, where you have the show this field group if, and then post type is equal to post, because if you're creating custom fields for custom post types, then you can click in here and then choose the particular post type that you're targeting. But since of course we're dealing with posts, I'll leave this as it is. Let's click on add field to create our very first field, and this would be the time to read. So I'll call this time to read, and then field name. Automatically the plugin will create a name for you. All you have to do is to click on the field and this will be created for you automatically. Now for the field type, there's two ways how we can do this. We can either go with the text and then simply provide the values 15 minutes to read, or maybe it's 17 minutes to read, like provide the entire value, or you can go with maybe just a number, and then in this case you will add 15, 4, 9, and then we'll use another method to display the minutes to read text. So that's a bit more tricky. So let me show you how you can actually do that. So we'll stick with number for the field type. And of course in here you've got additional values that are pretty much self-explanatory. I'm going to go ahead now and click on add field to add the second field, which will be for the image. So field label here, let's call this the post image. I'll click in here again, and then of course for the field type I will now choose where do you have image. Okay, right here it's under content, we have image. And then in here for the return format, we'll leave that as it is. Preview size, let's go with full size. And then of course other options in here that are pretty much self-explanatory. I'm going to go ahead now and simply click on publish to publish these two fields. And there you go. Congratulations. We now have two custom fields for our posts. And let's do this. I'm going to go over to the back end. I'm sorry, to the front end rather. And let's view a particular post. Let's say, for example, the ultimate guide to WordPress plugins for beginners, right? So if I wanted to display those fields, what I'll have to do right now is to first of all go to the actual back end, the WordPress back end, and then down here you will see the two fields now available for us. We have time to read So I'll just provide a value in here. Let's say this will take 34 minutes to read. Let's add the image as well. And I do have an image here for plugins, I believe. Okay, it's this one. All right, I'll click on select. And there you go. Let's go ahead now and update. So this post now has those fields, but to display them, we can go back to edit with Elementor. And then, okay, so to display the fields right now, what I'll have to do is let's do this. I'm actually going to scroll all the way down here and let's just create a new section for the two fields. So right here, let's use a heading for the time to read. And then I'll also add the image element for the post image right there. Let's drag this to all the way to the top, dump it right here. And okay, so now let's edit the heading element right here where you have title. I'm going to click on dynamic tags, and right there, I'm going to come over here. You will now see the ACF field. I'll click in there, and now in here again, I'll click inside. You'll have settings key, and then under key, I will now choose time to read. Now, the thing is, you might be wondering, why is it that we don't see the post image field? Well, that's because Elementor is smart enough to know that since we're dealing with the heading element, it knows that the value is going to be in the form of a text and not an image. That's why you only have access to the time to read. So I'm going to choose time to read right now. Okay, so you can see we have 34, but what about the minutes to read text? Well, we can click on advanced, and then right here where you have after, click in there, add a space, first of all, to create some space between the number and then the text, and then we will now say minutes to read. And there you go. All done. All right, we can even style this, of course, to the center. And now let's also add the image. I'll click on edit image, and then right here again, click on dynamic tags, come all the way down here to image field, click inside of the image field, go to key, and then just like with the heading, Elementor knows that, okay, this is an image field, so let me display the post image field, and there you go. Automatically, we now have the time to read value and then the post image being displayed. I'll go ahead now and simply update. So that's how you can use the custom fields in conjunction with Elementor to display. That's how you can use the advanced custom fields plugin in conjunction with Elementor to display custom fields on your website. But I think it's strongest when you actually apply this to the post template, because in this case right now, notice that if I go back to other posts, so let's go back to the front end. Let's say, for example, I have 10 best plugins for WordPress blogs as an example. Right now, we will have to go back to the back end in here, add the field, the value for the post type, add the value for the time to read, and then from the front end, begin to edit them, display them as an H2, and so on and so forth. A much faster way will just be to apply those fields, the custom fields, to our template. So check this out, okay? I'm going to go to the back end right here. I'm going to come down here to templates, go to theme builder, and then right here I do have my template for my posts. I'll click on edit with Elementor, and then I'll just repeat the entire process all over again. Let me scroll all the way down here, and I'm going to go ahead now and add the heading, and then I'll also add the image right here, and then I'll scroll all the way back to the top, and then I'll simply choose the heading element again, come down here, the dynamic tag, scroll down here, ACF field, click inside, key, time to read, and then click back inside again, go over to advanced, after space, and then let's add the minutes to read text, and let's apply some styling, okay, to maybe centralize this to the center. I think that should be fine. HTML tag, we can leave this on H3, and that's that. All right, let's do the same for the post image. We do have dynamic tags in here. Choose image field, click inside, The key here is going to be post image. And that is it. Maybe change the size here from large to full. And there you go. I'm going to go ahead now and update. So now we've added the fields to our post type template. So now I'll just go over to the back end once again, and let's just view some posts. And let's say, for example, we wanted to change the, let's see, WordPress SEO optimization guide, for example, and then the one for the MailChimp tutorial, right? Let's take a look at these two. So all I have to do right now is to go to the back end for each of these and just provide the value. So for SEO, let's come down here and I'm going to add time to read in here. Let's say this will be 30 minutes to read. Let me add the post image right here. Let's choose one for SEO. And okay, I do have one right here. Let's use that one. Let's update. And then let's also do the one for MailChimp as well. Edit the post. Come down here. Time to read. Let's go with 12 minutes for this one. And then the image, I do have one for MailChimp, I believe, if I can find it. Here it is. Let's do that. Select. Update. And that is it. Let me just go ahead and view the back end again. Let me close this too. All right. So let's take a look at the post fresh now. So we have the optimization guide for SEO. And then right here, of course, you can now see automatically we now have the time to read and then the post image being displayed. And then the other one was for the MailChimp tutorial. So let's open that one as well. And now you can see we have the image and of course the time to read value being displayed. So that's exactly how you can use custom fields and Elementor. But don't forget that with advanced custom fields, you do have access to a wide variety of different kinds of fields. It's not just text and image. So right here, you've got email, you've got range, URL, password, Whistlebig editor. You can go with choices as well, checkbox, radio button. All this would be great for forms. You've got the Google Map, date picker, relationship as well. Maybe I might do another video exploring this a bit more because this is quite advanced, but you might be interested in that.